Hey guys, so I just wanted to make this video to explain how you can actually make your offer stronger to a seller without actually having to increase the price. So when you're in a multiple offer situation with a seller, or if you and the seller just aren't seeing eye to eye on the price, there can be ways for you to make your offer look more appealing to the seller. Now, a good way to make your offer look stronger, even if it's smaller, is to, of course, pay cash. But if paying cash isn't an option, which I know it isn't for a lot of people, there are still several ways to make your offer stand out. One major way to do so is by waiving inspection items. One of the biggest hits to the seller's bottom line is the inspection. And an inspection report could serve to knock off several thousands of dollars off of the purchase price, thereby reducing the amount that the seller would receive. Those several thousands of dollars can be crucial to the seller if, for instance, they're using the proceeds of their sale with you to purchase another home for themselves. Now, one thing that I've done with my clients in a situation like this is to have them waive the first $2,000 worth of inspections, for instance, which would mean that if the inspection report comes up with $3,000 worth of items that need to be repaired, the buyer would automatically waive $2,000 of it and would only be able to make requests based on the remaining $1,000. Now, the actual amount that you decide to waive will of course vary, but waiving a portion of the inspection can really put you in an advantageous position when dealing with a seller, especially if the house is an older house or if the sale is an estate sale or a short sale. Now, another option that you would have available to you in order to make your offer look stronger is by making your closing date flexible to the needs of the seller. Sometimes a seller will prefer to close on the sale of their property as soon as possible. Sometimes they'll want to wait until their new home closes if they're also purchasing another home. Or sometimes they'll prefer to spend the holidays in the house, for instance, for the last time before actually moving, and so on and so forth. So giving the seller the option to essentially choose the closing date can really serve to ingratiate yourself with them and would give you a leg up over any similar offers that they may have on the table. Now, a third option that you would have is to waive the appraisal. Now, if you have enough cash to pay a significant down payment on the house, and you're in a multiple offer situation where your offer is actually above the asking price, you can waive the appraisal in its entirety or down to a specific amount. Now, what that means is if the house appraises for less than the price that you're offering, you would still actually have to move forward at that price, or whatever price that you would feel comfortable with. In a case where the house does appraise for less and you still wanted to move forward, you would need to actually provide the difference out of your own pocket. So for instance, if it appraised for $5,000 less than what you're offering for it, and you did waive the appraisal down, you would need to pay that extra $5,000 yourself, as the bank would only provide you with a loan that is up to the amount that the house appraised for. Considering that, you would only want to do this for a house that you really want and that you're not looking at as an investment, but it can alleviate any concerns the seller may have about the price being, a little bit too high, thereby giving you an advantage. Now, the last option I'll discuss today is writing a personal letter to the seller that would describe your family and what living in the house would mean for you and your family. Now, some sellers get emotional when selling their homes, and many would like to know that it's going to be placed in good hands and that it's going to be cared for and loved in the same way that they cared and loved for it themselves. Writing a letter to the sellers would allow them to see that the house would be in good hands by them choosing you, and would also allow them to get to know you, which in itself can put you ahead of everyone else who they know nothing about. And even if they ultimately decide to choose someone else, you can bet that you'll be the first to know if that deal falls through. So, I hope this gives you a little bit more insight into offers and how they work, and how it's not always the money that the sellers care about the most. So thanks as always for watching, guys.